The results-driven Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce invites you to connect your business with 1,000 other companies just like yours, including education and workforce development, healthcare, professional services, manufacturing, retail, nonprofit, trades and vocations, hospitality, among many others, and benefit with chamber programs and services such as government affairs, energy and economic development, small business assistance, networking opportunities, women in business programs, young people in business programs, and more. We invite your business to become a starring member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber today and see what a difference this chamber will make for you. Join your community's most trusted, effective, and relevant business network connection today. The Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, this is Michael Bevilacqua, the host of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. I'm also the Vice President of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce. This is a brand new program we're starting off here at Lawrence Community Access Television. I want to thank them for hosting us today. And I have a very special guest with me. I have Brian Mohika, who's the owner, CEO, and inventor of Cath Wear. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me.
So I want to get started. What is Cath Wear? And just tell everyone at home a little bit about Cath Wear, and then we're going to get going from there.
Sure. Cath Wear is a medical underwear designed for patients that require the use of leg bags. Patients that have a drain post-procedure, they have a leg bag attached to collect the urine. They wear it around their thigh or around their ankle, and it reduces, the bag slides up and down the leg. So what Cath Wear is, it removes the use of those Velcro straps. Patients put it on in place of their normal underwear. It's covered by Medicare. You can reach us at cathwear.com. We're #1 on Amazon in our respected category. We have a 4.5-star rating as well, going on 2 years. But most importantly, we're based right here out of Lawrence, Massachusetts.
Well, that's great, Brian. And it's amazing to see just how quickly your company has grown. We'll get more into Cath Wear in a little bit, but how did you start Cath Wear, and what steps did you take to grow it to where it is today?
Well, that's a great question, because I got the help from a lot of people.
Sure.
First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the vision for Cath Wear. Brought a lot of team members in. Yet at the same time, your father and you, the chamber,
sure,
as well, you guys have gone above and beyond, opening a lot of doors here in the community, asking me if I wanted any doors open in the community
yes.
as well. And that really showed me that it takes a village in order to raise the village,
yep,
right,
sure.
as they
Makes
say.
Sense.
And that's just a play on words there, because Lawrence is really, really thriving right now. Mm-hmm. And it's organizations like the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, it's people, the Bevilacqua family, reaching out to business owners. I know so many business owners that are thriving in this community, that are thriving under the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce. And I'd like to say that I did it all myself, but that would be a lie.
Well, it starts all with you, so we appreciate the hard work you are doing each and every day. It's been great working with you as well. But I mean, Cath Wear, it's really an amazing story. Would you mind telling people how how it got to where it is today, and where you're featured today? You mentioned how high you are on Amazon right now.
Yeah, well, we're based out of Lawrence. We launched, I invented it in 2012.
Yes.
It was fully patented in 2013.
Yep.
And then it's been a long road since then. I had to put it on the shelf for a couple of years to deal with some personal things that were going on. And then in 2016, our childhood friend that's also from Lawrence, Massachusetts, Edwin Alvarez, he has his master's degree in business, and he took the idea that was just sitting on the shelf and turned it into an international company at this point.
Yeah, great opportunity.
And it's a long road opening up a business, finding a manufacturer and developing it. But our favorite part about it is that we're based here in Lawrence, right down the street, 90
yes.
Broadway, and just showing all of the good that's coming from our community. Since I've opened that business with me and my friends, I have come across so many other business owners that I never really knew that there were that many people I grew up with, people that were maybe a couple of years older than me, that I'm seeing that they're business owners as well. And it's programs like this, it's organizations like the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce that are accentuating the positive things that are happening in the Merrimack Valley. So I thank you guys for that.
Yeah, Brian, I want to thank you, because it's never about you, it's never about Cath Wear, it's what can you do for others. And you're always putting Lawrence and your community first, which I think is an amazing story. You know, Cath Wear it really is an amazing product. For those who really aren't familiar with it, who are the people that should be using it? Who are the people that should, go check it out on Amazon, check it with you to learn more?
Sure. The people that use Cath Wear are urology patients that we're also covered by Medicare. We're the only product in our category that's invented by a nurse. A lot of patients, whether you have a biliary drain, whether you have, a drain that has bile that's collecting in it, a drain that has urine that's collecting in it. We have a pediatric version. We have for men and for women. We have different colors. We're on cathwear.com. We're on Amazon as well. We have a 5-star rating on Google.
Wow.
The reviews are astronomical. We have almost 200 reviews from doctors, from nurses, from caregivers, and most importantly, the patients themselves. We are improving the patient's quality of life. And it's always good to look at reviews because you get unbiased feedback from those things.
You know how to get better if you need to. You know what's working, what isn't. So
yeah, and that's one of the things that I talk about in my new book, Let It Flow.
Yeah.
And
like
it's
the
about
title.
Thanks. I know it's a play on words. But my new book, Let It Flow, it talks about just that. It talks about the process of opening up a business, the ins and outs, some of the pitfalls that I've gone through, that I just like to share the story here and Let It Flow, available on Amazon, because I understand the dynamics now and how difficult it is. And it's important for us to share our stories, our highs and our lows, in order to impact the community. But for Cath Wear, we're impacting patient care. It is an extremely innovative idea. And like I said, covered through Medicare, only product that's registered by a nurse.
No, it's great. And I want to get into that book a little bit later, a little bit more. But one thing that really stands out to me about you is that you're always looking to give back to others. And I think that's where the idea of Cath Wear really came to. When we were asking about Cath Wear, you told me that men now who couldn't wear shorts before because the catheter might be falling through their shorts, now they can wear shorts. Women that couldn't wear skirts before, now they can wear skirts. Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, you hear some of the reviews and you almost think it's a lie, because it paints the picture from the patient's perspective. You can see the patient's plight. One patient that really sticks out to me too, actually, but he said he hasn't gone to the beach in 12 years.
Wow.
Like, why would he lie about that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
He said 12 years. He said because he didn't want the bag to show, so he wouldn't wear shorts. And then he didn't want to go in pants and look weird at the beach, wearing pants or wearing sweatpants. He said until he found Cath Wear, which was in 2019.
That's amazing.
Because nobody was going to the beach in 2020.
And sadly.
Yeah, I know. To hear those things, it's extremely motivating for me. And for the team as well. Our other business partner, Hector Arce, which is also from Lawrence, he added some features. His girlfriend, Doris Shirenberg, actually Doris Arce, they just got married. So they added features to Cath Wear, and it took a lot of people to get to those patients that are struggling with that, because you don't wear a skirt, you can't wear shorts, and that significantly reduces the patient quality of life. Just think about it. Your family's going to the beach and you have to stay back because of a medical condition. You're already bummed out because of the medical condition, and now you're not even going places. And that's what makes Cath Wear so impacting, and that's why we're number one in our category. Another patient that reached out to us, their loved one had stage 4 cancer, renal cancer, kidney cancer, and they had 2 tubes that were coming out of their back attached to bags. They told us after the patient went to go be with the Lord that they were able to go on one last vacation with them because the bags were concealed and they wouldn't leave the house with the bags like that. I hung up that phone and I just remember crying and saying, and this was early on, and those are just little nuggets of that God uses to keep you going in the project, to keep you motivated. You have to find whatever it takes in order to push through obstacles. Certainly a lot of pitfalls that we've had, but hearing the patients, their reports back, you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Cath Wear is not just a product, it really is a product that changed lives, not only for like you said, the patient, but also for their whole family and their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you touched about this briefly, but what's it mean to you when you hear people say it's changed your life?
I can't hear it enough. Every time I hear it, it's like I hear it for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. That's the significance of when you have a nurse on the team, when you have a nurse inventing stuff, which is why I wrote the book, Let It Flow, because I want to let nurses know we can do this. We have close proximity to the patient. That's not to disparage anything that a doctor does, because that would be unprofessional of me to say that. Yet at the same time, we're spending that intimate time with the patients, and we see what they're doing and what they're not doing and what we can help them do better. And that's really the focal point where a lot of innovations are going to come from. So my ultimate goal for Cath Wear, in addition to helping the patients, is to inspire other people to think of other products that can help patients. Because if you invent something and someone else invents something and someone else invents something, collectively, we have covered all of the patient's complications.
No, it's amazing. Amazing story. And I remember right now we're in Lawrence Community Access Television, which is an amazing studio. But you were featured by Fox TV, correct?
Yes, I was. And that was, again, talking about what the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce has done for me as a business owner. I can only imagine the other people that I haven't heard their stories directly. But that was something that, because you guys honor veterans, I was in the Air Force as well for 2 years.
Yes, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you for thanking me. And we went down to Sal's Battleground.
Yep, the Battlegrounds copy.
Yeah, the
for our veterans
Battlegrounds.
program. Yep.
And at that event was where a lot of doors really started to open. And that was the first time that you and your father and the chamber had invited us down there. From there, a lot of things have come. We met another man there that brought us into an invention contest in Long Island, not physically brought us, but invited and introduced us. We ended up winning that contest, first place, for a large cash prize that we were able to then pump into the business and increase our inventory. Again, it all came from the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Well, again, we appreciate you doing everything for the community, for people that need this product. I mean, it is changing lives for the better, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
What's next for Cath Wear? Is there anything coming up for Cath Wear? Is there anything coming up with any new inventions coming up at all that you can mention now? I'm not sure if it's got to keep it secret. But.
No. I have other inventions that I speak about in my book, Let It Flow, that I've licensed. I own 7 patents, 6 U.S. patents, 1 European patent on different designs. But right now for Cath Wear, we're looking at the female incontinence and the male incontinence. So it's people that have a drain that's external, kind of like a cup, if you will, that then drains into a bag. That's a very underserved patient population. And we believe that Cath Wear has the ability to modify the features that we have and help them. So that's where we see it going, and also trying to establish the pediatric brand that we have as well. I've always said that the more ambulatory that you are, the more you can move around, the more benefits you'll have with Cath Wear.
Yep.
And who's more active than a teenager or a younger patient?
That's great. Again, always thinking of other people, always thinking about how to give back, which is amazing. But Brian, you know what amazes me? You're a veteran, you're an inventor, you're a CEO, and now you're an author.
I know.
So tell us a little bit more about the book. What made you what inspired you to write this book? When did you publish it?
Yeah.
For people who are thinking about writing themselves, what recommendations would you give them, and how do people get a hold of that book?
Well, I wrote this book, Let It Flow. I love to teach. I'm very passionate about pushing knowledge forward. I want to show people through my highs and lows on what it is that I did or didn't do in order for them to want to invent a product themselves. A lot of people have inventions, but they quit. They don't take the next step, or they don't know what the next step is, or they don't know how to generate revenue per se. And that's what I talk about. I talk about all of the ways to bring income, how to build a team, how to accentuate the positives, and how to build on your weaknesses, how to work with people that don't think like you or act like you, and realize that you don't think and act like someone else, and they have to work with you. And the other inventions that I have, the process of prototyping, of researching a patent, of bringing something to market, of developing a brand. And that's where I see myself going now into that keynote speaker role. I see myself traveling the nation, possibly even the world, not only preaching the Word of God, hopefully, but also teaching people how to open a business, how to market something, how to develop medical devices and things like that. If you're not giving back, you're not doing anything.
No, I agree 100%, and I think that's an amazing story. And especially in 2021, as we move into the new year, you're seeing more and more people opening their own business, creating their own inventions, and they don't. And I think what we see a lot of times, they don't know who to turn to, what to ask, who to ask. And that's one thing the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce loves to do is point people in the right direction and make the right connections.
Yeah.
But what would you say about that? How did you get from step A to step B to step C? I think a lot of times people try to get from step A to step Z, and they don't make it.
Well, what happens is comparison,
Yeah.
right? Comparison is never gets you anywhere.
Yeah,
Because
100%, yep.
somebody's, you look at somebody's finished product, right? But nobody knows that this has taken me 9 years.
Sure.
So they're like, oh, he invented something. Let me
Yeah.
go into the garage and put 2 pieces of stick together with some gum. Oh, it didn't work. Maybe I'm not an inventor.
Yeah.
It takes a really long time. And that's what
It's
I
not
talk
overnight,
about.
yep.
It's not. And that's what I talk about in my new book, Let It Flow, that's available on Amazon, because I didn't know that. I found out the hard way on how long that takes. But to answer your question directly, what made me pursue Cath Wear is that I had my first invention, I quit on it.
Okay.
And it was a suction device. Our 2-month-old couldn't breathe at the time. It sounded like he just needed to blow his nose. But at 2 months old, all you get is that device, that suction device they give you in the maternity ward,
Sure.
which that thing doesn't have much
yeah,
power.
no.
It doesn't work at all.
It's not going to happen. So.
No, so I went into the operating room, I grabbed some suction tubing and a suction device, kind of like when you go to the dentist, but it's a little bigger because they use it for surgery. And I went home and I cut the tubing really long. I covered one nostril and I plugged the other side of my son's nose and I sucked the mucus out.
Yep.
But the tube was long, so it never went into my mouth. It just got caught up in the tube. And then I would pour saline down it and then clean it out. And he slept like a baby, pun intended. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I could put a motor on the end of this and then, maybe patent it.
Yep.
And I was showing it to people in my life at that time. And friends and family, and everyone kept telling me that it was stupid and it was never going to work. And that's the number one thing that you shouldn't do, is seek approval from others.
Yeah.
Because you have the vision. So it's your vision. You know how it works. You're the one that has the PhD on that. Nobody else does. And there's value in that because you can defend the features of it.
You got to be honest with yourself. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
And I showed it to my son's pediatrician, and I was like, well, she's going to approve of it, And she's the one that said, oh, the FDA is never going to approve of it because it goes near the baby's brain, and anything that goes near the baby's brain.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it doesn't go near the baby's brain
Okay.
because it had a bulb that sat outside.
Right there, yep.
So as she was saying that to me, I was saying to myself, like, no, but it doesn't even, I know, but it worked. And
Yeah.
she really discouraged me, said it's going to take years and years and thousands of dollars. So
Sure.
I quit.
Yep.
And about a year or two later, one of the people that told me that it was stupid saw it on the shelves at Walmart.
Wow.
And someone else invented it.
Yep.
And when I saw that picture, I just remember telling myself that I was never going to quit again.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that I talk about in Let It Flow, was that process of quitting, that pain that I felt of quitting. Pain is a great motivator.
Yep.
So when I got a hold of Cath Wear, I didn't want to let it go. I just wanted to take that next step. I wanted to see what would happen if I didn't quit. I wanted to see what would happen if I just pursued it relentlessly. And now we're making a huge impact on patient care, and especially on LinkedIn. The nurses that I've met that are also innovating and inventing medical devices, I'm starting to partner up with them, and really collectively we're pushing healthcare forward.
Man, for anyone who's watching right now, I want you to go back. I want you to listen to everything Brian just said, because pain can be a great motivator, but it can also be a great demotivator.
Yep.
And I think that's the key to being a good inventor, is that when you fall down, you pick yourself back up. You go on to the next project. I know another inventor, he had 4 failed projects. The 5th one was the one that he succeeded on. And I think that's the key to your success, Brian, to not only make it a good product, but to make a product right, to make a product that's going to make the change in people's lives like Cath Wear did. And I think that's really what helped get you to where you are today.
Yeah,
you
I
see the
agree.
motivation in the way you speak. You see the enthusiasm of saying, here we are today, but where can we go tomorrow? What's down the road?
You're
You're already
that.
thinking 20 years down the road, which I think is the key to your success. So I want to congratulate you on
Well,
that.
thank you for that. And it's really, it means nothing if we're not helping people. It
Yep.
means nothing if we're not pushing our ideas forward. And that's what it's all about, especially a city like Lawrence, Massachusetts. I mean, 3 years ago, there was a heroin epidemic, and God stepped in. It's gone now. But nobody talks about that it's gone.
Sure.
But when it was here, it was all over the news.
Yep.
You had people in high places in government coming and saying that it was the epicenter of the heroin trade and things like that. And it's gone. And we're thriving and we're growing. The year after that was the gas explosions all over the news. Nobody talks about the recovery.
Sure.
Nobody talks about what has come from that. Like even for Cath Wear, I know we spoke about COVID off camera, but even for Cath Wear, we launched right before COVID hit. And as we were gaining all this momentum,
Out of nowhere.
it shut down.
Yep.
So we didn't know what was going to happen. We saw an increase in sales during the COVID shutdown, and that's significant because they weren't placing the drains that have the leg bags because the hospitals were focusing on the pandemic. So to have an increase in sales when the shutdown happened in the hospitals, it truly is a testament to the trajectory of Cath Wear, but also the problem that we're solving. And that all came through heartache, through tough times. And Lawrence has been a city, for me growing up, I heard when we were kids, they said that we burn our city down. That's when all the landlords were burning the houses down.
Sure.
In the early 90s and things like that. They were stealing the cars, mid 90s, everywhere. Like nobody wanted to come into Lawrence. It was really run down. It's no longer like that. It is a booming economy in the Merrimack Valley. The ecosystem here, the people that I've met.
Sure.
I mean, even outside of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, Lawrence Partnership Program,
Yep.
Frank Cavallo, Derek Mitchell, as you had said, Dr. Glenn of the Northern Essex
Essex,
Community
yep.
College. It's endless, and now I'm in a position where I already like to give back, and now I have a sense of urgency to give back because of everything that the community has helped me do.
And that's what you're all about, giving back to the community, which is amazing. I heard you talk about the COVID crisis, and thinking about what you were saying earlier, Cath Wear came at a perfect time because for those people that are able to use it, because with COVID, so many people were going outside again. They were doing things outside. This gave them the opportunity to be with their family rather than being stuck in the house where they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It gave them the opportunity to go outside with the Cath Wear
Yeah.
and to feel comfortable going out there.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's a high number of people that have catheters in place. You could be speaking to somebody and they have one, but you're never going to know because it's such a private moment.
Yes.
It's their medical history. So, they're not going to reveal that to you or to anyone. And to know that we're able to reach those people, and you could see it on the reviews, to know that we're able to reach them and improve their quality of life, like that we invented something, that it's from Lawrence, Massachusetts, and that people are giving us money for it. They're buying
Yes.
multiple pairs, and it's growing the local economy. Nothing beats that.
No, it's amazing. Now, you have your own medical background as well, correct, Brian?
Yes, sir. I'm a registered nurse. I have my degree in radiology as well that I got from Northern Essex Community College.
Sure.
My 4-year nursing degree. I got it at UMass Lowell, and I'm working on a 3rd degree now, my master's degree
wow, congratulations.
at North Point Bible College.
Yep. And, you have your book come out now. Are there any plans for any of the future books down the road?
Who knows? Who knows? I hope so, because I want to just share with everything that I've learned. My first book is actually called From Cocaine to Christ, and it talks about my 20-year addiction to alcohol and cocaine before I had an encounter with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. When I went through a really tough time, that's why the patent was sitting on the shelf,
Yeah.
and I didn't do anything
Sure.
with it. So I wrote that book that's also on Amazon, and Let It Flow is my second book.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
If there's two,
might
maybe
be a
there's
career
three.
being an author.
Yeah.
So. No, I think that's amazing. What other products have you been working? What other products are you thinking about for the future other than Cath Wear, if there are any?
For right now, there are a couple of inventions that I have that are still in my
And
head.
if you can't reveal them, you can't reveal
Yeah,
them.
I know.
So.
I mean, I just don't even have the.
I'll shake it down
the
from
time.
after,
Yeah,
so.
I know. I'll text it to you. I don't even have the time to bring them to market or even build a prototype because things are just really picking up now. picking up in the community, just listening to the stories of so many people, like you said, opening businesses through COVID and things like that. But I know that I'll have some inventions that I may not get to. I'll probably give them to my sons or something like that.
Oh, that's great, especially when you work with the rest of your family as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 boys. Osiris, he is 19, also at Northern Essex Community College, and my 11-year-old Elias, and I have a stepson that's 7.
Okay, congratulations. As we start to wind down the show right now, I want to ask you, just tell everyone at home if they're wondering how can they learn more about Cath Wear, how can they order these products. Tell everyone at home how they can find out more, how they can order the products, and if they have any questions, who they should contact.
Well, Cath Wear, you can reach us on our website at cathwear.com. You can also reach us on Amazon. You can reach me via email and by phone as well. It's on our website at cathwear.com. My new book, Let It Flow, is also on Amazon. And I just would love the opportunity. If you want to hear more about it in depth, you can reach out to me directly through Facebook at Brian Mohika, LinkedIn through Brian Mohika as well. And on Instagram, you can reach our Cath Wear page at Cath Wear Official.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate you taking time to be on the show today.
Thank you.
We'll have to have you back in the future. I'm sure by then you might be on your 3rd or 4th or 5th book.
Yeah,
and
who knows?
Your 2nd and 3rd invention. But no, we appreciate you being with the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce and the great things you do right here for the city of Lawrence. There's so many great things going on. You have Sal Lapoli at the Riverwalk. As you mentioned, we have so many.
I know. I met Sal. He is amazing.
Oh yeah, we have so many great businesses that are opening up now in Lawrence. So I think there's a great time to be in business.
Absolutely.
Right here in Lawrence.
Absolutely.
But I just want to thank you again for being on the show. And for anyone who's interested in learning more about the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, you can find us out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, now YouTube. Also, just search Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce. If you're interested in becoming a member, learning more about how we can assist your business, feel free to reach out to us anytime, whether you're a member or not. 978-686-0900, MerrimackValleyChamber.com. And as I mentioned, this is a brand new series starting here at Lawrence Community Television. We're looking forward to getting going in the future as well. So I want to thank them for opening up their studios to the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce. And anything you'd like to add to close the program today, Brian?
No, I'm honored that you guys are starting to do this here in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I'm honored to have been the first one as well. But I really just want to take these last few seconds or minutes or whatever and just really thank God for what he's doing in our community. I remember, we've been called a lot of names here in the city of Lawrence. We've been called the city of the damned. But I believe that in about 7 or 8 years, we're going to have a different nickname. We're going to just keep working hard and keep our noses down. And it's not necessarily to have a good nickname, but it is to bring glory to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, that has just come and really blessed our community with a lot of organizations that are bringing us up. We're coming out of the ashes, bigger and better and stronger than ever. And we just want to say thank you to God for ending that heroin epidemic. When we really needed him, he stepped in.
That's a great way to close out the program. So with that being said, I want to thank you again, Brian, for being a guest on the show. We got Cath Wear, we got, what's the book's name again?
Let It Flow.
That's okay. I can't forget
it's all right. I don't expect you to.
And we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to our show, the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. We look forward to being back next time. And if you have any questions, like I said, please feel free to reach out to us. But thank you again, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to all the viewers, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
The results-driven Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce invites you to connect your business to 1,000 other companies just like yours, including education and workforce development, healthcare, professional services, manufacturing, retail, nonprofit, trades and vocations, hospitality, among many others, and benefit with chamber programs and services such as government affairs, energy and economic development, small business assistance, networking opportunities, women in business programs, young people in business programs, and more. We invite your business to become a starring member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber today and see what a difference this chamber will make for you. Join your community's most trusted, effective, and relevant business network connection today. The Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.